How long was she trying to sell Mr. Dos Santos' share?
Only what I've read. I mean, I don't think I'm the first person to consider this. I've heard that folks in China have looked at it. I've heard that major sporting goods companies have looked at it. For me, I kept calling him saying, what's wrong with this? Why is the stock price so low? Why doesn't it trade? And then you hear, well, there's not much liquidity in the Portugal market, but, well, that shouldn't matter. It should still trade and reflect value, and it just doesn't. So as an investor, as a lover of football, as a philanthropist, I like to give my time to some pretty neat youth-oriented and educational-oriented missions. This was a combination of, kind of the three parts of who I am at a price that just seemed unbelievable.
There was several names mentioned in the last days. Was the intermediary between the bank, Lori, and Mr. José António dos Santos or Carlos Janelas?
It's my understanding that Carlos was working as a bit of a partner with Lori Pinto on trying to find an investor for this. So how I met him was through Lori.
And do you know if they will receive any commissions on this deal, Lori and Mr. Janelas?
Well, the people in the middle always do. It's typically the obligation of the seller to pay those commissions, so the buyer only is interested in the net price. So, when you come into this type of situation, everybody's looking for something, no doubt. But my assumption was that Mr. Janela was aligned with Mr. Pinto, and that was between them and the seller potentially. But that's just my assumption.
Yeah.
Do you have an estimate of how much could that commission be, just out of
curiosity? I can tell you what it is traditionally. Yeah. It's anywhere between 1% and 6%, but as the transaction gets bigger, the percentage gets lower. So that's what I would expect the bankers to be getting.